Good morning. Let's play some chess 15 minutes, 10 seconds increment. And let's see who we are playing today. Oh wow, I cannot pronounce his name. That's are a lot of numbers from Mexico. Okay, so e4. And I used to play the Italian, but I'm going to shift. I don't like the positions I get in the Italian. Or the Gioco Piano. I don't recall. I don't know what the names are. But I like this. I believe I can take the pawn. And if he takes back, I have this center trick. I believe that's the whole point of it. And if he sacrifices the bishop there, yeah, I have to take here, and then. But this is the whole point. And we take the knight, assuming that the bishop goes back. And then, yeah, that's it. But, well, I take the knight then, right? Yeah. We take the knight and we have an extra pawn. And we have the bishop pair. It's not that bad. Our pawn structure is not very healthy. Well, I've got these double pawns here, but that's basically all there is. Now, how do I want to develop? Bishop here kind of makes sense, but also the bishop here makes sense just to defend the entire structure. I would assume that my opponent is going for something like this to attack the pawn. So I have to decide where I want my bishop to be. I like this square because it's more active. But I think I'm going here. I assume he's going to castle. I castle. And if he plays this, maybe I can go for that. Build a nice center. And something like that. You can also go the other way around, of course. I can always play c4. We will see. For the time being, I have an extra pawn, which is nice. Now, if he goes there right away, maybe I have ideas of going here, just to make it more difficult for him to castle. Yeah, that could be an idea. That could be an idea. We'll see. Priority now, castle. Okay, he's going there. Obvious. Well, let's get castled. I could consider this pin actually. Maybe I will do that. That part is all defended for now. So here, and how do you get out of the pin? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe here, but then I will just reroute and defend the pawn. I mean, I have to develop the bishop somewhere, right? So, makes sense. Yep. Okay, so he's not going to castle on the king side, I think. That's for sure. Well, at least I have the pawn protected now. And he's going there. What's the idea of that move? Maybe he wants to hop in. Do I want to open it up? It's a sacrifice. No, that's not good. I can go here. Not quite sure what that does. Not much. I think what my opponent wants is a move like this. To open up lines to my king. I can play a move like this. Just so I can take twice if he goes there with the knight. And maybe I have ideas of hopping in. Forcing a trade. Do we want to play like that? Seems sensible. A move like this is possible. I will just take that and go here. That's the idea. You can also push the pawn. And he can also castle. That's still possible. So my idea was to go here. That's a double attack. Maybe it forces something. And that pawn is hanging in the distance. So, well, actually, I'm not attacking the rook because the knight is protecting. Either way, we can pre-move that if he takes. No, he takes. He takes not. Well, let's take the queen. Now the attack is less of an issue. I can try to open it up. Not quite sure if I want to do that. I can attack the pawn. I can try to create a weakness there. And what does my opponent want? My opponent wants this attack maybe to succeed. What if he plays like that? Maybe then I play this. Okay. So, of course, I'm going to hold off with that pawn push. I can try to open it now. Open it up. Is that advisable? Or do I want to play more solids? Well, I can attack the pawn, but it's so easily to defend that I don't think that's a good move. The only concern I have is on takes. Well, no, I can take with the rook maybe and then double up. Maybe that's a more viable option. He doesn't have to take. But we're going for that plan. There's only, if I take with the rook, the pawn is actually hanging. So takes, he can actually take. But how bad is that? How bad of a problem is that? Now, if he does nothing, and let me take the pawn, yeah, like that, I will take, and I can play against this weakness. So it takes something like that. Then I can bring my rook up, bring the other rook in. Maybe I go with the rook here. Then I'm attacking both pawns. And I can double up on the f-file. Well, the nice thing about my structure is that the knight has not a lot of good squares. And that bishop is kind of doing nothing for the time being. Now, of course, he can attack me, but that will drop the pawn. And he goes there. What if I do nothing? What if I just double the rooks and attack that pawn? I think that pawn is more important. On the other hand, if I double, I can also take that pawn. This is just a free pawn now. Or maybe he wants to push by and open it up here. That's a possibility. I can also just take. I mean, it is a liability. The pawn is a liability, I think. Yeah, let's take the pawn. It forces actually this pawn to recapture. He takes with the rook. Well, that's the loss of the exchange, so I will happily take that. And he resigns. I was considering taking the pawn or doubling up my rooks and go after that pawn. I think I would have done that, go after the f7 pawn. Well, I think this was a success, but no, I'm not going to do a rematch. I don't have time to do that, and I have to rematch someone else who I played yesterday. I promised that, so I have to do that. Let's see the analysis. Well, I don't like the doubling of my pawns, but I don't think it was that bad. So this is all good. Yeah, that's the best move. Okay. So objectively, this structure looks like something was gone terribly wrong, but the evaluation is +2, which actually, yeah, that's not the move. Is it here more active? C4. I think it is. Let's see. Nah, today, man, it's too slow. It is bishop c4, bishop e2, and f4. F4 is what the computer likes. F4. Ooh, that's a little bit too much for me. I would like to castle first. So d3, bishop d3 is not the best move. It's bishop c4, bishop b5. Interesting. Bishop b5. Wow. Okay. It just likes the bishop on this diagonal. Okay. But I don't mind the setup. It was quite annoying for my opponent. Not taking... Oh, using the pin. Oh, that's clever. And then on castles, then I have to make a decision. Bishop d2, bishop e3. Yeah, retreating. Okay. It just activates the queen. Okay, I went here. So far, he plays all the correct moves. Yep, that's best. Yeah, now we play an endgame. F4 right away, eh? Yeah. So here, now I played F4. Yep, takes. Yep. Yeah, that's a mistake. He should, of course, taken with the pawn. But then he has a lot of weaknesses I can attack. I think I would have gone for the double rooks. So here, it's the third engine move. The first engine move is a5. Sacrificing the pawn. What's the idea of that? Because I don't get it. And then e5. Well, what's the point of that? Knight b3. Knight b3. Isn't that... What? Knight b3? Oh, of course, this pawn is overloaded. If I take the knight, you take my bishop. That's clever. Clever. Okay. Well, enough tactics from Stockfish, that's for sure. Yeah, and here it's completely lost, of course. Yeah, I think I would have gone for here. It's a good move. Taking that pawn is better. But the reason I like this is because I can also exchange rooks and get closer to an endgame. Knight e5 is here the move. Knight e5. Oh yeah, that protects the pawn actually. Well, then I take this pawn. And you take the bishop. My super strong bishop. Well, I have a nice center actually. I have two connected pass pawns. Yeah, I like this. I like this opening. It's simple. Yeah, I will stick to it for the time being. All right, I want to thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope I will see you back tomorrow for a new game. Goodbye.